Good day to you all. Today, fixing this Prelude. So if you guys have been keeping up on the channel, ooh, lights over here. If you guys have been keeping up on the channel, you know that the Prelude was giving me a hard time when we got back from H2O. The bushings, I believe, is the issue. The bushings on the rear upper control arm, at least on the passenger side. The driver's side doesn't sound too bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and replace it anyways. So fingers crossed that it's just the bushings and I can get this knocked out pretty quick. I went ahead and ordered new bushings. There are some polyurethane bushings that are actually made for an Accord. I'll include a link for the write-up, the forum write-up that I used for this entire install down below, so you guys can go check it out for more information and part numbers. So basically I have two of the parts I need. I'm just waiting for the bushings to get here. They should be here at some point this afternoon, but I figured while I'm waiting, I may as well get started on the disassembly, get the rear end of the Prelude jacked up, get the wheels off, and then hopefully get the two upper control arms out, and maybe even get the old bushings out by the time that the new bushings get here, so we can just, you know, throw it all in, throw it back in the Prelude, and be good to go. Finally got the Prelude jacked up with the jack stand in a proper place. Took way too long trying to figure out how to get this jacked up properly and safely. I mean, I could have put the jack stands underneath the rear control arms, but I don't know, it was a little sketchy because I wasn't exactly sure how long the car was going to need to have its wheels off and be up in the air. So I ended up having to drive up on wood blocks so that way I could get the jack under the front end here and, you know, jack it up from that jacking point. And fortunately, because it's a stiff chassis, when you jack up this, the whole side comes up. So I just had to jack it up enough up front here to get the jack stand underneath the rear one. Next, we gotta take off this wheel and see if we can get the upper control arm out as well. So right now is pretty much the first time you guys are actually going to be able to see what I'm talking about. This part right back here, if you will focus, you can see that those are pretty much just worn out and almost blown to bits. They're kind of just shredded, and if I can get the back one's the same deal. And the coolest part about this whole thing, if I can put the light here, is if I move it back and forth, you can just hear it. So that's what the issue was. There's just nothing left on those bushings, and it's just metal on metal. So it's a good thing I'm doing this. I looked, and the other bushings, I'm probably just gonna end up doing everything back here, the sway bar bushings and just everything that I can. So I was just looking, and obviously you have one bolt right there on the end. I don't know, I'm assuming there's another bolt head on the other end that you have to hold while you turn that one. And if you open the trunk right up here, there's the bolts that I'm going to need to take off to get the upper part of the assembly out. I just removed the two 17mm bolts that go right up here on these two parts, which by the way is how you can get more camber. If you haven't watched my other videos where we adjust it, you basically from the factory, obviously with the bolt still on there and it aligned, you have a little bit of play there, so you can actually add some negative camber to maybe fit a bigger wheel in the back. Looks like I've got a little bit of tire on there. Good stuff. Now I just need to unbolt the ones on the trunk right there. That was actually really easy. They're also 17 mils. So now this piece, we should just be able to drop this out here, and now this assembly is just kind of free to get out of the way, and then this should just drop right out as well. And just like that, we have the entire upper control arm assembly, and you can tell how wonky this looks right now. Look how out of place this is on the upper control arm. Like, I bet I can probably just move it. It's probably not a good idea to do that, but so I'm gonna replace the bushings and hopefully that fixes this issue.
I just got this long bolt out. It's a 19 mil. No, I'm sorry. It's a 930. Hold on, where'd that go? 9/16 on both ends. So you just have to hold one side and crank the other. And I'm just making a note now that I took a picture of it, but the bolt went in like this. So it goes the bolt head itself and then a washer on the outside. And then this one just sits on the outside of the other end. Now we can take a better look at the culprit here, and I'm no mechanic other than what I know on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be able to move these all that much, and I can basically, oh yeah, I can just push the whole thing out with my thumb. So I think these are really shot, and it's a good thing we're replacing them. With everything disassembled here, what I think I'm gonna do is actually go and take the upper control arm and this part. I also need to spend some time, and the camera will yet again focus. Come on, come on. Yeah, you guys can see that ring on the inside. I need to get that out. It's on both ends of this, so just need to pop those out as well. And then I'm gonna take a wire brush, clean this whole thing up, maybe even paint it. I'm not sure yet. That would be nice to do that and get these all looking a little bit refreshed. After about an hour, I was able to finally get these two out of the inside of here. I basically had to cut them down. I don't know if you can tell. I know one of them actually cut through it. Yeah, this one. Focus. This one I basically had to cut through it. More so just to get a spot where I could pry up a little bit and then get some PB Blaster in there. I also used the heat gun to basically heat up these entire things to expand it a little bit and make these come out a little bit easier, but it still took me about an hour, and that's only this side so far. Fortunately though, while I was doing that, the bushings came in, so really stoked on this. Now we can pretty much get this side all done up. I still need to hit it with like a wire brush and just kind of clean things up. I'm not gonna paint it just yet, although I know I should. I kind of want to do that another day, maybe when I get more progress on other bushings, and then just take it all out and hit it all up with paint at the same time instead of trying to do it over the course of probably months. So yeah, I'm just gonna clean it up for now, toss these guys in, and I'll show you how they go back together. Just spent some time cleaning this up, and I got it pretty much down to just the bare metal. There's not too much extra stuff on there. The upper control arm though, I am actually gonna throw some paint on, so I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more. And then as you can see there, I was able to just expose some of the rust underneath the paint with nothing but the wire brush. So I'm gonna hit it and just cover up some of the exposed metal, and then we can go ahead and start assembling everything and get this side hopefully all set. I know that I might need to do some grinding on these. I'm not sure that everything's gonna fit. So I was told, and big shout out to Brandon over at Extreme Daily Drivers for being such a help on this. He says that you need to grind down each side of this a little bit, so that way you have enough space for the new stuff, because these parts aren't really for the 3rd gen Prelude. I believe these are upper control arm bushings for a 90 to 96 Accord, I believe. And then I've also got washers, some plastic ones, and then some metal washers as well that I'll be needing to put this all together. So with all of the new parts, this unfortunately just is gonna be too long. So I believe we'll have to, cut it in a little bit. Decided not to be lazy and go ahead and just hit this whole thing with black spray paint. So I just let it dry. It's almost fully dry now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start reassembling this. I'm just right now applying grease to all of the bushings, and then we should be pretty much good to go. Just put one bushing in. Next we're gonna take one of these plastic washers, and I'll link these down below, the part number that you guys need. And I'm just basically gonna put that right in there, and I'll try and show you just that way it sits right on top of the bushing. And then we can go ahead and put the next bushing in just like that. Now with the new bushings and the plastic washers in between them, this is what this is gonna look like, and you can tell just how different that is. I mean, guys, there was literally next to no bushing left on these at all. So it's no wonder that I was getting all that rattling and cranking and noise making. So Next up, I need to put these basically right in through here on both sides. I've already greased them up, so they should slide in pretty easily, actually. Yeah. Can't do it with one hand, but you guys get the picture. Just slide it in through like that. Now with everything kind of put back together, basically what we're going to do is, obviously I have this in the correct orientation, and I'm going to put the control arm in between them like that. And I'm going to basically run this back through the same way that I had it orientated coming off of the car. So the bolt that actually spins off goes on this side, which is going towards the back of the car, so it needs to go through like that. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the factory washer on there. But the only other thing we need to do is, as we're sliding that pin through the upper control arm, I need to add a couple washers, basically one on each side of each bushing. So you're going to use 4 washers in total. As I'm putting this together, I'm noticing that it's putting a lot of tension on these bolts and separating these because it's still a little too long. So like I said, we had to shave off a little bit on here and here, but I actually think I need to go back and shave off some more. Again, so we can make room for all this extra bushing and washers. After a full day of work, I can say that this is finally all set. I've got washers on either side of every red one. I've got the plastic washer in between each bushing, and everything is seated and basically tightened down on this. So now we just have to throw it back onto the car and get these last bolts put back on, and then this side is all set. Everything is reinstalled, and that looks so much better than it did before. Obviously you couldn't even see bushings beforehand, and now we've got this nice red setup. I actually do like the red. It's kind of cool with the black. So I think as I keep going and replacing more of these bushings, I'll just kind of continue with the red and black theme, and should look pretty nice. But this was the problem side. The other side I'm sure needs it, so I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Good morning, fam. I decided to just keep the vlog going, so I wanted to get you guys an after, because last night after I kind of stopped recording, I did end up finishing the other side, and it went a lot faster now that I kind of knew what I was doing from the first go at it. So I've been driving now for about 45 minutes, and guys, the Prelude feels 1000% better. Just like suspension wise, driving wise, I didn't even realize it. I guess just kind of how knocky and how shaky things were before I had replaced it. And I know that these are only the bushings for the upper control arms. There's still a lot more bushings to go, but I'm really excited just as like how much of a big difference that made. So I think what my plan is instead of just knocking out all the bushings at once, I'm gonna kind of just slowly start to do them every now and then. Maybe like once a month I will knock out a different set of bushings on this thing, and you know, just work my way until they're all replaced. But yeah, it's sick. I'm right now just heading up to David's. I gotta make a few stops, and then might do a little photo shoot because I need a thumbnail, and I just need some more pictures. It's been a little bit, so I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. All right guys, so I just made it to David's, and the Prelude is just driving so much better, guys. I can't even explain. It just has, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but it has that newer car feel, at least in the back. I can really feel the suspension is a lot tighter. It just kind of floats a lot better, like the coilovers feel a lot better. I didn't realize how knocky and kind of just like metal on metal things were beforehand. So again, I did get this side all done last night, which you probably can't see it. Yeah, it's a little hard to see because your boy's too low, but trust me, it's all done. And I think next I'm gonna do maybe like the sway bar bushings, or maybe even the front upper control arms next, and just like I said, start working my way around all the suspension components and swapping out all of the bushings. So it was just raining, and me and Dave we just picked up his car from Audi, and I know that boy's got bald tires, and it's all-wheel drive, but I'm gonna see if I can hack him on to do a burnout. Yeah, that was easy. Rip it, bud. Is your traction control off? Try it from a dig. Yeah, it sounds good, bro. Thing looks sick though. It's got the new front lip, the banner on and everything. Looks the business. You just can't hang in the donuts. All-wheel drive, even with bald tires, and the ground's wet. Come on, S3. So again, I was thinking about ending the vlog, and there's really not much else to cover on the bushings. I mean, the car just drives great now. Honestly, it drives so much better than it did before, and I'm excited to get the rest of these bushings done. So if you're new to the channel, I'm gonna be doing all sorts of 3rd gen bushings on this thing, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell notification so you know when I upload. But I think you guys are in for it today. I'm gonna extend the video, and we're actually gonna be deleting the reflectors on Dave's S3. So they just pop right out, and then I've got some extra gloss black vinyl from when I did the roof wrap and the banner on the Prelude. So we're gonna go ahead and throw some gloss black on those, and it should make the back end look a little bit more aggressive, especially now that he's got the carbon diffuser, the carbon trunk lip and everything. Just having the taillights be red on the back, I think will look pretty dope. So if you watched a couple videos back when we put the carbon diffuser on this bad Larry, we were able to actually see that the reflectors, there's basically 3 pinch tabs on them, so they should just kind of pop right out, which will make this a lot easier. You could, if anybody's watching this with an S3 or I don't know, whatever the other Audis have these reflectors, but you could also get this job done with these installed on the bumper. I would just run some masking tape around this, and because it's such a tight line, you could really get away with just, you know, cutting the edge and making it look nice. But we're going to take the extra initiative to pull them out and then try and wrap around the edges, so that way it just looks that much better and we don't risk scratching David's nice paint. Yes, sir.
Easy peasy, lemon McDouble squeezy.
Yeah, man. So like I was saying, just 3 pinch tabs on the back. It looks like you got to really pinch those 2 on either side, and then this one you might just have to kind of pull it back a little bit to get it off. But now we can go ahead and do a solid job wrapping this and just tuck it over this red line right here, and then when we pop it back in, you won't see any red at all. Just got both reflectors out and cleaned them up with
a lot of gunk getting off of there.
Yeah, very important to, anytime you guys are wrapping anything, make sure you take rubbing alcohol and clean it beforehand, and not even just the face that you're wrapping, but make sure you clean these edges. I'm sorry the camera's not focusing, but you get what I'm saying. Clean these edges, because that's where the tension's going to be. That's where the wrap's going to need to hold. It'll have no problem sitting on this flat face, but if these edges are filled with dirt and grime and sand and dust, the wrap is going to surely peel up over time. Just got the first one wrapped, and I've basically gone around all the edges and cleaned it up. And what I want to do now is post heat it, so that way the vinyl sets into place. So heating up the vinyl will actually delete the memory in it, and will basically relearn the memory of this shape. So that's what post heating is good for. Post heating is also good to check around your edges and your corners, because during the summertime, as the car gets hot and the wrap heats up, that's when you have to worry about the vinyl pulling back and lifting up off the edges and corners. So post heating it will show you if there's any pull or any weird tension in the vinyl. So Dave, you want to just like hit this real quick at the heat gun, like right on the corner, right up here. So you guys will see that there's nothing, there's no pull up or anything. The wrap didn't move. So yeah, it's all Gucci. I'm just gonna sit here for like 30 seconds, post heat this, and then I'm just gonna cut along this nice edge here, and this one will be all done. Voila, wrapped reflector. Look at that. Edges are pretty clean. Pretty happy with it. Done it a couple times, so I hope it comes out this good. Dave's just finishing up the other side, but I think we can pretty much just go and pop these back into place, right? You just pop it right in?
Pretty much. Yeah, my
Let's do it.
corners are looking pretty doo-doo, I'll be honest.
It's not that bad, man.
Dude, I don't know how I'm gonna have to freaking work at this for a minute.
So with the corners like that, add a lot of heat and then pull it straight out like that, and then just try and tuck it under. Let the tension, like hold on to it. Nah. But it's not gonna be perfect. Like you can see mine, or
oh yeah,
I just kind of mashed it in there.
Yeah, kind of like mine too. All right, that one doesn't look too bad.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss this on, see what it looks like. You know what we should have done is left one unwrapped and still on there, so that way we could have done a side by side, but you guys saw what it looked like before, so no need for that. Let's see, just trying to figure out which one this goes onto. Right there, perfect. Yo, this is gonna look the business, brother. Oh yeah. Snapped right into place, so we got no more red reflectors. Dude, I actually really like that. I'm a big fan. You guys know I love it on the F30 with just having the only red part of the back of the car be the taillights. I deleted those reflectors a long time ago, and I just think it looks sick on any car. Dude, that looks so much better. May as well get a merch plug while I'm at it, guys. It's hoodie season, so make sure you go cop a hoodie. Keep warm this winter. No need to be cold out there. You guys can head to the website if you want to scoop anything, support the channel. Your boy needs it right now. I'm running out of money for car parts, so help me out. Cop a hoodie. There's t-shirts. I got stickers. I got decals for the windshield. All at www.elevated. Wait, 3 W's. www.elevatedmediamerch.com. I am in the midst of cooking up another drop, so stay tuned for that. Thinking right around maybe like Thanksgiving, Christmas time, I'll do like a special edition fall elevated line, something. I'm not sure yet, but it's in the works. Just got the other one in, and now standing back, I mean, dude, I like it a lot. I think it looks really good. With the new trunk spoiler, it just kind of makes the back end look a lot bigger. I don't know what it is. I really can't put it into words. Just checking the old dipstick here, buddy. And I noticed I've got a collection of squirrel nuts right in my exhaust manifold. Like they're trying to add it to all of my spark plugs. So I gotta try and get these out of here. They're like roasted nuts now because this thing is so hot. And literally roasted nuts. 'Tis the season. Oh my God, this is gonna be impossible. Yep.
There's one.
There's one, nice and roasted. I've already grabbed one, so that's 2. 3.
That could have posed a fire issue.
For real, dude. These could light up. 4. 5 nuts. 6 nuts. What is that, number 8?
8, baby.
8 acorns.
8 cornies.
It's got more horses. More acorns than horses, baby.
8 corny boys.
Alright guys, it's been a video that once again has been all over the place, but you got to see the bushing install, you got to see us wrap the reflectors on here, so it was like a double whammy there, so enjoy it. Hope you guys got something out of this video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, keep elevating, and peace out.